So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewind my string protector roughly from here to here. And the reason why I took the old one off is because when I did the initial one, the bowstring stretched, and so it created little gaps, and that's no good. So hopefully now it's finished with the stretching, and the winding that I put on here will not develop a gap. So one of the things that you want to get for this first is a jig, and you can buy them, but you can also make one yourself. And I learned to do the same place I learned how to make my bowstrings. It's Backyard Boyer. I'll put a link in the description below for Backyard Boyer's channel, because he's got a lot of great videos that show you how to make strings and bows and stuff like that. But anyway, you'll need a jig, and I will show you how to use it. You'll also want beeswax is pretty handy. You'll want that to help the string stay in place, and also it does give everything kind of a protective coating too. Okay. So I'm just going to run this over this string a little bit just to get it started, because we want things to stick as much as possible. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is you want to take your string roughly like this and lay it kind of on the string here, and you'll want to. It's a little tricky at first, but it's not a big deal. You'll want to get a couple just regular hand windings around just the end here to keep things going, to keep things in place. I mean, and once you get that, then we can start using the jig. You want to keep them tight and in line. So like you're not trying to double up or anything like that. What you want is a nice even coil, and that's really what the jig helps you get. But you want to start out with a nice even coil, and now you can start doing this. What this does is the jig helps lay out that even coil. Sometimes you have to check on it, because it will sometimes double up if you're not careful. You want it somewhat tight, but not over tight, because you want it to stay close to the string. And so after a few times of that, you want to take this bit of loose string here, and you want to pull it tight, because that cinches the first part of this knot. It's a really nifty knot. You want to pull it tight, and now draw it back here, and again wind, keeping it fairly tight. You may need to make that bolt a little tighter. I just changed the spool, so it's like every time you change the spool, sometimes they make the spools a little different too, so it's a weird fit. But yeah, you want it fairly tight, so it keeps everything nice and close to the string, and it's already starting to get away. So and every so often you just pull it, take your fingers or your nail or something, just kind of make sure everything's nice and tight, nice and snug. I have had easier times than this. Okay. So there we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it here, and we'll pick it up at the end of the line. Okay, so I've wound it up to where I want to move to the next stage, and just kind of end it off. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to give this probably, I don't know, 8, 10, 12 inches, something like that. A little more than I plan on using. And cut it. And then I'm going to take this and I want to wax this. And maybe run a little more wax here. Okay, so now I want to finish off this knot. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to make a loop like that over my finger. And then I'm going to take this and wind on the inside of this loop a number of times. Because we're essentially going to do the knot we started with. Now these windings here can be little less disorganized. It's not a big deal, because you're going to lose them in a minute. And hopefully you're more dexterous than I am this morning. Had a busy day yesterday. Saturday. Alright, so you want to wind a bunch of times on this side, but you want to leave enough to draw back here, and I'll show you why in a second. So you could even actually, when you make this loop, you can make it shorter than I made it. I'm just being a little sloppy today. So now what I want to do is I have this here, and you want to make sure everything's good and tight. Okay, now you're going to take this and you're going to finish up winding. You're going to finish up this winding. You're going to cap it off, and every winding you do takes off what you loaded with. So you can see it disappearing as we go, and you're covering over the string that you drew down this way. And you could probably guess what's going to happen next, because now you have this loop and you have this string, and you're going to take this and you're going to pull this through without losing that winding like I just did. You're going to pull it through, and then just kind of tighten that up. See, now it's nice and snug. Once you get that, that's as simple as just cut the excess off. Take your beeswax and run over the whole thing. The whole thing. And it'll help protect it and keep it from even get like on the just overlap onto the string itself. And this'll make a nice, yeah, you can hear that squeak, but this'll give you a nice protection for those windings, which are themselves protecting your bowstring. And this looks pretty good to go. So here's the serving in full. And as you can see, it pretty much looks like it's one with a string on the side of the color. And that's how it should look. Even without the wax. The wax helps a lot, but even without the wax, it should be a nice tight coil, and there should be no sign of the knot on either end. Nice thing about these, the Dacron B5 for the main cordage, and I forget what the other stuff is. It's just serving string of some sort. But you can do pretty much whatever color combo you want. And this one, this string is as weird as it is because I was running out of string when I made this. So the main cordage is black and green, and the serving threads are a combination of like orange and purple, and when I finally got new serving thread, one of the colors I got was red, so that's that one there. But it's kind of a little bit of everything. And the one thing I haven't done yet is put the beaver balls on it, and I will be doing that eventually. But that's not what this video was about. This video was really just about the knot for the serving thread. And like I said, I will put something in the description for where I learned about it from Backyard Boyer.